What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in back to the channel. Today we're tackling one of the biggest gripes on the interior for the Miata, and that is having no lighting. We actually got in the mail this kit. This is off Amazon for about $30. I'll put a link below so you guys can pick it up for yourself. Basically what this kit does is eliminates the sun visors, because we all know they're completely useless, and replaces them with a dome style light. Now there's actually only one video on this on YouTube that we've come across, and unfortunately most of the steps are not followed through. So we're going to show you guys exactly how to install this kit. This should be fairly simple, maybe about an hour if not less. So the tools we're going to need for today are a T40 hex bit, flathead, and Phillips screwdrivers are going to be your best friend here, and or little pry bars. Just a quick side note, guys, if you're not following me on Instagram, go check us out over there. We always ask your guys' opinion to kind of get an idea of what we're going to do next. Obviously up next for the car for restoration is going to be the seats. In order to do the seats, we had to make sure that the upholstery that we were ordering was going to be correct. It was down to these two. On Instagram, you guys actually voted for the Napa synthetic leather, pretty darn close color match. So go check us out on Instagram at 86gold so you can see behind the scenes footage where we actually ask you guys your opinion on what parts we're buying and all that kind of stuff. So go check us out over there. All right, guys, so moving on to the install, we're going to be starting off by removing the sun visors in this car. They are completely just, I mean, look at that. They're really bad. And as we all know, they don't really do anything. Not only will the visibility increase by removing these, but it'll just give a nice cleaner look to this bulkhead area. First tool on the list, Phillips screwdriver. Pop these down, give them a little spin. For some reason we're missing hardware on this, so one and done. That'll be okay. I hope the new kit includes new hardware, because that would be really nice. Give me that screw. Pop that one in my mouth too. Go ahead, just, okay. Now, it took us forever to figure this out, but the mirror here just pulls down. There's supposed to be a spring clip in here, but the previous owner put epoxy in it, so we're just gonna have to re-epoxy it once we're done installing this. And now we're gonna take apart the base real quick. Now we're grabbing our T40. Again, somehow we lost some more hardware, not too sure how that happened. Now we're just gonna open up our package here and see what we're working with. So it does come with the two blinking plates. They're even textured just like the original interior here. So the LED itself is on its own. Each one is on its own wire, positive and negative. So we'll do a little bit of tapping between the two. Okay, now is the tricky part. I'm not actually entirely sure how to remove this panel here. I do see that it does come apart fairly easily. I think we're just gonna wing it here. Hopefully we don't crack anything, right? My hands, yeah. So far so good. Before we take apart the passenger side A-pillar, I'm just gonna feed this through real quick. We have our cables run through on the bulkhead here, but we need to run both of these over here, down this panel, and underneath through the dash. In order to do that, we got to take this piece off. So I think we just pull it. These are pry bar. That should be enough to just loop in there. We tucked it behind the A-pillar, and normally it would just hang down right here, but Alina was able to tuck it right behind this panel all the way down to where they're just dangling here. Eventually, we're gonna route this up outside of this and solder into this switch here, but we're gonna put everything else back together right now just so we're not kind of all over the place. So Alina's gonna pop that A-pillar back in for me real quick.
Okay, I did it.
Yay, good job. I'll slide that weather stripping right back on.
You would never know.
Now we're just gonna feed these through. That looks really good to me. So now we can throw our hardware back in. So normally this would just pop back in. Now because we don't have the spring clips anymore, we are gonna switch back to the epoxy just like the previous owner, and hopefully that'll stay. It probably will, but nothing beats OEM like the spring clips, so hopefully this works. All right, don't come at us for the getaway that we rigged this up, but this is as best as it's gonna get. It's gonna work, it'll be fine. So now this is where it gets fun. Wiring. Alina's gonna show you how to do it because I'm scared of wiring. Grab a little pick here or a screwdriver, pop off the faceplate, and then use a screwdriver, pull that up. All right, so now we're gonna grab our wires from the bottom side and pull them up through this hole here, now that we have this exposed. Easiest way to do that's gonna be just by using some wire, popping it through, wrapping the two wires together, and then attaching it to that bottom side, and we'll pull it gently all the way through the back side of the dash.
We don't want all this extra wire, so I'm just gonna cut it a little bit shorter, but still enough to give us some room.
And guys, for some reason, it's supposed to come with this little wire. I think ours just didn't come with it. I'm going to leave a link below for one of these pieces here. It's just an eyelet.
We just cut this off of something old that we had.
We're just stripping back and exposing some positive and negatives here. And the red is gonna go to the other red, and the black and the other black are gonna go together. So now Alina's twisting the two grounds together, and then she'll solder those two grounds that are twisted to that piece there. So she's just gonna solder the two blacks together first. And did you already do it?
Yeah.
That was so quick. So since she soldered the two blacks together, she's gonna now twist that into the new eyelet and then solder those two pieces together. So Alina put some shrink wrap over it instead. We actually had some extra stuff laying around. We got our ground. Basically all you gotta do is take this screw out, put this eyelet in, and then put the screw back on. So the eyelet is gonna be underneath the screw. That's gonna be our ground wire. For the power, we have our two wires here. We're gonna strip these back, solder them together, and then put them inside the female spade connector. Now it also provides this little pin here. It's like kind of like a tap-a fuse. So off the main harness, we're gonna attach this piece to the red wire, more further up though. And then once that's clamped down onto the red wire, the spade connector that will be on these will just slide right inside there, and that's our power.
I don't...
So now Alina's just peeling back some of that tape to reveal some more of the red wire, which is gonna be our power.
Is that good? Did I do it?
That looks good to me. So our ground is now connected, and now we can throw our power into it. Ah! Switch on, switch off.
On, off.
That looks awesome.
On, off.
Okay, so now that we know it works, let's button everything back up together and then go in the garage and see how good it looks. A good click. And the faceplate right back on. All right, let's put it in the garage. Now that I got you alone in here. All right guys, so we're in the garage right now. The top is up. We covered up everything in this garage. You barely see anything. Turn the lights off real quick on the camera, and then I'm gonna open up the door and we'll see exactly how bright it is. But look how bright that is though. I'm happy. Are you happy?
I'm happy because I can see.
Oh my God. We did it again, Alina. Okay guys, so unfortunately, we tried working with the lighting on the camera and whatnot. It's not doing it any justice. These LEDs show like a spotlight on my chest area, but it's actually illuminating everything.
Everything but your head.
So like from my knees to my upper shoulders, like I can see everything in the cabin in here.
Which is good, so they're not pointed right at your face. They're pointed at everything that matters.
Okay, that gives you a better idea of exactly what you could see inside the car. So now you can see me, huh?
Yeah, I can see you.
Really well?
I can see you really well.
What if I flash you a titty?
Woo! You look like a crazy person. Your eyes are huge.
Okay, so here's all the things I like and I don't like about it. Install process was fairly simple. Take your time, make sure not to break any of the panels. I'd rate that like a 4 out of 10. As long as you know wiring, it's pretty simple, straightforward. And if you don't, now's a great time to practice. It does come with directions, and if you follow this step by step, it'll be pretty easy for you guys, hopefully. If you have any questions, also leave a comment down below or hit us up on Instagram at 86goals. We always try to help you guys out with your builds, and you can reach us the easiest way through there. Another thing I like about this, the visibility on the top side, especially if you're a foot taller than me. I'm a short guy, I'm 5'6", but every now and then I don't like the way that sun visor, I mean, not only does it look bad because it's super old, but it does get in the way from time to time. Visibility is way nicer just pulling it into the garage here. The overall outcome and the way it looks without the sun visors there is super clean. It's just a straightforward look. The one thing that I don't like about it is that it does not come with color options, whether that be like a super bright white or a natural white or even like an OEM color. I know some people are purists and like to keep that OEM look for lighting. All right guys, and that is all for today's video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like down below. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.